Well, hello and welcome back to the most unusual, creative, innovative tarot reading on the internet. It is called the Tao Manifesting Tarot. It is a trip and it is a special trip. It's not for everybody. It is a metaphysical experience because I don't simply depend on the tarot message. The tarot is our final destination, absolutely. I've done tarot for over 20 years. In that 20 years, I have found from my experience, tarot doesn't predict shit, doesn't predict a thing. But I've discovered over the 20 years what tarot is the science of potential, your potential to create, your potential to manifest, your ability, which is God given, by the way, your ability to paint pictures in your own imagination that help create and shape your life. It is real, honest to goodness kryptonite. There's no question about it. Which is why people like John D. Rockefeller, when he revamped and reformed our educational system back in the early 1900s, said, I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. So, if you manifest successfully, positively, you're his enemy. And in fact, you're the enemy of the deep state. They do not want you to think, they want you to be a sheep. In part, that's one of the reasons why they created the internet. I think the internet has surprised them a little bit and come in directions or gone in directions that they really hadn't anticipated, and that's created problems. Nevertheless, if you're one of those people who think, well, we're going to have technology and that's going to solve our problems, you're crazy. Man, you are absolutely nuts. And the reason is number one, it's addictive. Number two, it makes you dumber, makes you less creative. You have a smartphone, desktop, laptop, or you lean on artificial intelligence. You are taking stuff from outside of you and trying to create the energy. It's not going to happen. You experience life head on, first person, and then you take all those experiences, mental, emotional, social, and you create the pictures inside yourself. And by the way, you have been doing this since you've been very, very, very young. They have tested 5-year-olds and found out that they are extremely creative. 99% of the 5-year-olds tested, and they've done several testing over the past 20, 30 years. 99% of the 5-year-olds, extremely creative. They followed them till they became college graduates of one kind or another, master's, PhD, whatever the hell it was, and the creativity factor down to 1%. From 99% down to 1%. Rockefeller was right. I have found more often than not that the PhDs and master's people regurgitate information. They can't do anything else. That's how they got where they got. They just repeated what they were told to say, to think. They're robots. They're nothing more. That's why you see so many people with letters after their name. Stupid. Couldn't find their ass with two hands because they killed their creativity. They killed their humanity. Now you go manifesting, I've tried, and I just can't seem to do it. No, you're doing it perfectly, just negatively. That's the deal. We're programmed to be negative. We're programmed to think very little of ourselves, that we're pieces of garbage. That's part of the plan, of course. Because if people thought they were worthwhile, really felt they were worthwhile, there'd be a whole different situation. So you got to dumb them down, dumb them down, dumb them down. The problem is that almost all of us manifest but negatively. Well, we say the words, God, I'd love this, I'd love this, I'd love this, but inside we feel, I can't do that, I can't have that, I can't. And guess what? You manifest, I can't. So you're manifesting perfectly, it's just switching. And so that's what we do here. And because of that, as a tarot reader of 20 years, understanding that it is your potential, I go right to the point. There's no fantasy, no unicorn stuff, no rainbows, no woo-woo stuff. That's crazy stuff. I know a lot of tarot readers who do that. and take a look at how they've positively impacted your life over the last 5 years. Hasn't gotten any better, has it? Because what they're talking is crap. So we don't do that here. It is the matrix, your matrix revealed. It's your human kryptonite. Tarot is the science of your potential. It's tarot transmutation. Taking this frequency that I work very hard to distill. I only use 3 cards. That's all. I don't need 30. I don't need 300. God, can't believe how many cards these tarot people put out. It just gets to be chop suey. 3 cards. 3 is a very special number. You distill card 1, card 2, card 3 into a single frequency. That is your manifesting ability. And I want to make it clear that's the destination of the reading. But I don't stop there. One of the things that makes the Tao Manifesting Tarot so different is the fact that I also give you background advice. Think of it as a cosmic weather report. You're going to go outdoors, you're going to enjoy the day, the weekend, whatever the case may be. You would like to know what the weather's going to be like, right? You know how to dress, how to prepare. Maybe you don't even want to go. Maybe you change your mind. It's going to be crap weather. Well, forget it. I'm not going to waste my time. Maybe next weekend, whatever the case may be. So you get the tarot, you get the energy, you get the human manifesting potential. But now, how does it fit? So I will use astrology, numerology. I've done those things for 50 years. And they will give you kind of this, well, like I said, cosmic weather report. How do they do that? It's real simple. History repeats because the energies in astrology repeat. Okay, it's real simple. 1992, George H.W. Bush, President of the United States, said, "We are coming into a new world order." Okay, 1992. Pluto and Neptune get to make contact with each other every 500 years. So you go 1992 back to 1492. Ooh, Columbus wants to discover, quote unquote, the new world. 1992, 1492. Let's go back 500 years. Ooh, 992. Major things happen in the Middle East. The Mongols, the Turks, the Christians, several large religious groups decided that they were going to work together. They changed the world. New World Order. 992, 1492, 1992, all the same. So that's why it's so essential. Now, very often I will also just take stories from what's going on in life currently so that you get the same idea. But the deal is I want you to have a feel of the environment. What are you stepping into with this tarot energy? It is absolutely essential and vital that the information is clear, it is precise, it is honest, and it is accessible. And that's what makes us different. Today, for example, the Tao Manifesting Tarot reading says going deep and alone. Here's a journey each of us has to make on our own, going deep and alone. Kind of like going out to sea in a little dinghy, getting away from everything and everybody. And the ocean is a good place to contemplate. Well, you don't have to go to the ocean. Go to a lake. Heck, I live on Lake Superior. Believe me, you can get out and alone on a Lake Superior. So the point of the matter is we all have to make a journey. That's the idea, going deep and alone. And I'm going to get to that information, start to unload it for you. But first, I want to kind of set things up a little bit here with something I call cosmic cycles. Kind of takes the message of the day and kind of reshapes it a little bit, hopefully gives you some insight. So what we're trying to do today, we're talking about going deep and alone. How about trying to clear the fog from your life? The cosmic fog. There is a time when you can't see the forest for the trees. Everybody has that. You can't. It's a difficult position. It's a scary position. It's a lonely position. You lose perspective. You lose a sense of direction. There are no markers, no boundaries. You have to find these things for yourself before you can move forward. There's no choice. There's no option. You gotta do what you gotta do. You're trying to clear the fog. Best advice, stay open, stay receptive. Hey, I just want to remind you, I do have an email that you can send me stuff to. I would like to just see if it's hi, hello, shut up, whatever you want. That doesn't make any difference. It's communication. Tao-Tarot at proton.me. Tao-Tarot at proton.me. I realize that this kind of tarot reading is very difficult for a lot of people, right? Tao Manifested Tarot reading is a very difficult read for some people because it's honest. No bullshit. You can tell me that. Tao-Tarot at proton.me. I will be more than happy to hear from you, and I will respond appropriately. I'm not going to put you down. I'm just going to say thank you. I appreciate the reaching out. That's the whole point of this thing. So let's get to the action here. Let's get to the thinking out loud part. I have said for some time, because I spent virtually all the summer and a little bit into the fall, using astrology to study the history of the United States. It was not encouraging. But I learned a whole lot. I mean, getting the astrological aspects connected to historical events was amazing. Amazing, the revelation. And one of those revelations was that in 1913, we lost the United States of America. It was sold to the Jew bankers from Europe. That's when they formed the Federal Reserve. 1913. Oh, by the way, in the Federal Reserve, which they passed over Christmas time because Congress was out, so they really cheated there. They didn't let anybody know they were doing it. And they had to sink the Titanic, or possibly the Titanic sister ship, to get rid of 4, 5, 6 very rich people who were stopping them from doing this. Once they did all of that, then as soon as they passed the Federal Reserve Act, they also created the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Why? Well, because you had to have money to keep feeding the Fed. And of course, while we're at income taxing, how about if we start encouraging women to take jobs too? That does is double the workforce. More money coming in by the IRS to the Fed. Ooh. So, President Woodrow Wilson really helped push the idea of the Fed. He thought it was a good idea, sounded good to him on paper. Well, no sooner did he do it than he said, I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit, the Jew European bankers. Our system of credit is concentrated. The growth of our nation, therefore, and all of our activities are in the hands of a few men. We have come to be one of the worst ruled, one of the most completely controlled, dominated governments in the civilized world. No longer a government of free opinion, no longer a government by conviction. No, and the vote of the majority, forget it. It's a government by opinion and duress of the very rich, small group of dominant men. Largely, not exclusively, the Jew bankers from Europe. But they had their other people, like a J.P. Morgan. Greed, 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 and control. 1913, it all took place, and Woodrow Wilson, who supported the formation of the Federal Reserve, went, oh, shit, what did I do? By the way, he didn't do anything after that to try to correct the problem. Interesting. How about if we do the meme for today, huh? Yeah, let's take care of that. What I have here, and you're going to check it out for yourself, 4 pages. Henry Ford wrote a book about the history of the Jews. He was not a big fan of, not so much the Jews, but probably the Zionists, the bankers. Remember, when you look to the New Testament, the only time that Jesus goes crazy was when he was dealing with the money lenders, money changers in the temple. The Jew bankers in the temple. Why the temple? Well, because at that point in Israel, they were a religious country, at least purportedly anyway. And so the temple was the government house, and the bankers were working in the government house. And Jesus went in there and whipped the shit out of them, frankly. Check it out. You will be amazed. But it was a very important piece of information. You can't trust him. And if you take a look, and I will be doing this a week or two down the road, 4 major empires going through exactly the same thing in exactly the same way for exactly the same reason. Rome, Spain, England, and now the United States. You could add in a couple of other empires around the world doing exactly the same thing, but because we're European based and focused, we're going to tie in with those. We're going to take a look at why all four empires disintegrated in exactly the same way. So that'll be coming up in the next week or so. But just something for you to pay attention to. This is what makes the Tao Manifesto Tarot reading so difficult for so many people, because it's truthful, it's honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. And of course, this time around, it's going deep and alone. You're going to have to make this journey on your own. I'm giving you the information, but you're the one that has to make the decision. And I mean, like right now. We're running out of time quick. How about the missing link for today? This one I had to do because it just fits. It defines meditation. It says, because we could all use a little bit of sit down and shut the F up. Yeah, don't talk. Do. That's the difference now. Do. Are you up to it? That's the missing link. Your action, your commitment, your focus, your energy. Now, let's take a look at the manifested tarot reading for today. We begin with the Two of Pentacles. Twos are always decisions. Pentacles are our value system. If you're thinking cars, money, houses, you're crazy. The things that are the most valuable are the things money can't buy. Love, friendship, respect, joy, health, peace. How about another one? Time. You can't buy more time. That's true value. So that's what the Pentacles are all about, those values. And the Two of Pentacles is saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm getting screwed here. I have done what they've told me to do. I've done what they said I should do, and I'm getting screwed here. I got to have a new value system. I have to have a new compass. Next card, the Hangman. This is when you decide, okay, I got to do it different. New value system. What the hell am I going to do? Well, first of all, you got to flip the script. You got to go upside down. Take a look at the world from an entirely different perspective. Let go of the past. It's gone nowhere. In fact, you've taken it as far as it can go. There is no more room. There is no more fudging. There is no more faking. So the Hangman says, flip the script. Take a look at your life. Take a look at your value system from an entirely different perspective. And what you'll find are the Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity, fairness, balance. Does it mean that everybody's going to have the same thing and the same way? No. It just means a fair shot, an honest shot. Not everybody is going to be rich. Not everybody's going to be good looking. Not everybody's going to be famous. Not everybody is going to be everything. It doesn't work that way. That's why I do astrology. 12 houses, bunch of planets, all kinds of mixings. You're going to get a little bit of everything. The idea here in the Six of Pentacles with fairness, reciprocity, a different value system, a new perspective on your life is that let's play by the rules. Let's play fair. And then let the chips fall where they may. It's amazing how little it takes to make you happy and connected. And yet they have us distracted by the baubles and the bangles. Ooh, more of this, more of that, more of that. Oh, and by the way, more of debt, giving me more control over you. You going to keep playing the game? You're in for a big surprise. Time to find that new value system, get a new perspective, go for fairness in your life. So we're out of time. We get time and choice. That's it. Choose wisely. We're out. We're going. Just want to remind you, please, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Boy, there's stuff going on the internet. People are complaining about losing subscribers. People are complaining about different platforms cutting out, coming back, cutting out, cutting back. Please like and subscribe. We need you to be able to help you to get the information to you. So between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.